Hey everybody, Rodman here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 30 of Kenshi Birth of a Hive. So, over the last week, I have been collecting feedback from all of you about changes to rules and goals that we can vote on, and today is the day you can vote. You can vote in the next few days. If you'd like, pause right now and go to the voting form. You can get to it. The voting card is in the top right corner, that little circle I icon, or just go to rodamont.com or the announcement section of Discord. All three will have the link for you guys. All right. So we left off. We had Singheili down here in Shark, and we really didn't yield any recruits as a result. The only ones we had, we aren't going to be able to recruit because we don't have a queen with us. And then we have the queen over in whatever it's called, the Flotsam Village, and again, likewise, they didn't yield any recruits either. I'm going to have the queen and her escort head home because we have the caravan of headhunters heading to us. Now, back home, we do have Frenchie, who is, as you can see, a prince who will be able to recruit other soldiers and drones, but in the case that there are princes in the caravan, it would help that queen is home. Now, I had some tips and tricks from you guys, some feedback per se. So Vomorix, who also has a YouTube channel of his own, I have him featured as a featured channel on my YouTube page, but if you're looking for his channel, it will be linked in the description. Vomorix helped me test some things with the Hiver expanded mod. So he's been testing weapons and the like, and unfortunately, the net result is there are some new one-handers that are introduced into this mod. The Hiver expanded mod, the ringed maces and the leaf blades. But unfortunately for me, there are no blueprints for them, so I only can buy them. Meaning that I'm left to basically buy my one-handers. That's totally fine. Either I will do without one-handers, or I will purchase them. Those will be the solutions, which is totally agreeable for me. And then some other tips. Andy Salter and Ron mentioned that recruits don't respawn unless you import, which means there's really no point for me to revisit cities ever, unless, of course, those cities have an adventurer headhunter that I can recruit to headhunt for me. So with that said, I will not be revisiting some of the cities that I have been revisiting. Wow. Iron Spider, this far out, huh? So, yeah, what I'm going to be doing is bringing Queen home and then sending Queen out on a special excursion once I have enough trade goods to yield some nice money. Let's go ford the river here. I don't want to go any further north because we run into the off chance of hitting cannibals. And I'd rather just do a little swimming. So I will send the queen all the way down to the deep, deep south, and we will get some recruits that way. And then from there on out, I could probably just rely on the Headhunters mod. Or, alternatively, maybe conversion therapies. But that is, of course, up to the polls that are going on right now, if you're interested. If you're wondering what I mean by that, one of the options on the poll is to be able to use the Recruit Prisoners mod in conjunction with abducting Fog to rehab Fog back into our swarm, which would be pretty cool if you all vote for that. Alright, so Singheili and Singheili's crew have apparently not hit any snafus, any snags. And by that I mean the little indicator that they're being targeted hasn't lit up. Because we are deep, or he is deep, and their whole crew is deep in the blood spider area. Now, they're faster than blood spiders, but that doesn't mean I want to get caught by one. That would be bad. Alright, could we stay on land, Talon, just a little bit? Because I definitely want to get home before the headhunters. Now, they stick around a while. They don't leave immediately, but they're not going to stick around indefinitely. I do want to get home before too long. Well, I am doing a lot of zone loading, aren't I? That's another one of the issues, of course, with hivers. They are particularly fast. They're naturally faster than every other race, except for, you know, maybe some animals. And it does cause you to have to load a lot of zones, because my slowest person in this group is moving 27 miles an hour, which is Usain Bolt speeds. But of course, they can sustain it over an infinite distance given food. So it's Usain Bolt speeds at an ultra marathon distance. It's pretty insane. All right, saying Healy, let's sort of manage you from a distance. Closing in on Clownsteady. Now, usually, just north of Clownsteady, there is often big old ninja fights and the like between swamp ninjas and red sabers, and yeah, the swamps are known to have a bunch of criminal activity, but because none of those individual syndicates, those individual criminal groups, are particularly strong, it's really dangerous for blood spider reasons, but not so dangerous for human reasons. So it's actually a pretty good place to level up if you can keep an eye out for blood spiders. Now, the other issue, of course, is if you're knocked unconscious, blood spider's going to eat you, and eat you good. So you definitely don't want to overextend, which is sort of the issue everywhere. There is very few safe places. Wow, that iron spider came real close. There's very few safe places on the map that you can level up. You know, there's not like a newbie island, for instance, some games have. I've always sort of appreciated the games that happily throw you into the fire because you've wandered somewhere where you shouldn't, and don't like the games that are like, sorry, but you need to be level 26 to proceed to this area. It's like, no, just let me get squished, and I'll learn real quick not to venture off stupidly, rather than, you know, put bumpers on the bowling bumpers on my game. I don't want bowling bumpers everywhere, you know? Alright, so we did craft up our first set of armor, which is exciting. At the moment, it looks like we are maybe a little bit out of iron plates. Beep here brought back some crafter backpacks. So these large backpacks can go to our crafters. Let's give Resnick. And Resnick will drop the combat backpack. And Snowy. Why is Resnick and Snowy not next to one another? Let me fix that. There are weaponsmiths. I'm going to put them in the end so I can really easily identify them. So Resnick and Snowy are going to get huge backpacks, because Snowy hasn't even put this groin plate away. What does this even look like? Do I want to know? Just like a codpiece. Alright, that probably has terrible coverage. 10%. Yeah, it should be. But it's relatively weightless. It just, I like the description there. A groin plate made by hivers. What are they protecting? I don't know. I really, truly don't. I don't think I'm going to be making too many of those. But of course, we can put them away. Yes. So, taking a look, I think we're out of iron plates, but we could do some plate beating. So, let's go to Ferris. I'm going to borrow you for a moment. Put all of the iron here into iron storage so that Resnick can plate beat. There he goes. He's already off. And then Snowy here, I'm going to have you start doing the... oh, that's heavy. Snowy, I'm going to have you start doing the leather armor crafting to get the hive leather vests out. Those are going to be relatively lightweight compared to the armor that we just crafted up. The armor that we crafted up is going to be a lot heavier, which is problematic if we want everyone to wear it, as it's not... we have... basically, we have a lot of very weak hivers. Because I haven't been doing any training, and I'm not going to be doing any traditional training like that. Our particularly weak hivers are just simply not going to be able to wear really heavy armor without super encumbrance. We'll work on that. Alright, Queen is here, and we're just going to wait for the recruit group. So let me swap back to St. Healy, who has led the caravan straight into Clownsteady. Cool. So I think what I'm going to do here is let's go ahead and send Frenchie in to do some recruiting. See if there's any people to recruit, or hivers. So we've got a soldier here that won't talk to us. A soldier here that will talk to us. So let's go to this soldier right here. Of course I'm interested. Sure, here's some money. And let's go to the queue list that I've got. So this Atto, you're going to be named Acid. And welcome to the group. Congratulations. Alright, Frenchie, who else can you find in here? There is... you are a drone? Well, nope, you're not talking to us either. There's a prince here that I can't recruit because the queen's not here. And that looks to be about it on this floor. Oh, no, there's one at the bar. Longstoat, who's a drone. Now, I don't have any lists of patrons that want to be drones. So, if you are a patron of mine and you would like to be introduced into this series as a character, all you got to do is let me know and I can start naming drones after you. So Red Rain here is going to sell off some of the excess cooked fish that I've got. I don't need that much fish, and that increases the amount of money, of course, that I have, and that will allow me to do some more recruiting. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang out here and wait patiently to see if the recruiting caravan brings in some people I want. Oh, actually, there's two princes here. And what are you, an Empire peasant? Yes, you're an Empire peasant. So that's pretty cool. There's some princes down here in Clownsteady. So if the queen gets down here, there will definitely be something for us to do. So the rest of everyone else, let's filter into the bar and take up some seats. If you're sitting, your food requirements decrease, so it actually serves a function. But there's not a whole lot of seats. And I'm not so much a paying patron, I'm just sitting. It doesn't look like there's any free seats upstairs either. Alright. I could, of course, go into other buildings and figure it out, but I don't really need to do that. I can have some people hang out with the pets. And this caravan is just about out of things to sell, so I guess I have to craft up some more. So let's see here. We've got Crab, who is back to working on a Naginata, but we are sort of at the end of the iron plates that we've got. Resnick is making armor plating, and then Snowy is making Hive leather vest, and I have that on repeat. So I guess at this point what I need to do is I need to gear up the people that I have that don't have gear. So Beep, you are a soldier of ours and able to hold a little bit of weight. Let's see what you can wear here without too much encumbrance. So I'm going to hook him up with the light hiver armor because I think that's a little bit lighter and he'll be able to manage it. And the weight differences between these helmets, there's really no reason to go with anything but the Hive mast helmet. It's barely heavier, but gives full coverage. So Beep, you are teeter-tottering on the limit of your encumbrance, so that's all the gear that Beep's going to get. But I'd say he looks pretty cool, and I do like how the Hiver armor is custom-tailored for Hivers. That makes sense. That makes some sense. I don't know how to dye these armors. As the mod says, you can change their color. So if you know how to do that, or if you don't dye these, but you dye the you dye clothing or whatever, let me know. I don't know how the dyes work. But alright, so Beep looks pretty good there. We do have Ron home, right? Alright, Mr. Ron. You've got yourself some real heavy howler armor, but I'm going to hook you up with these... it's obviously lesser, but this lesser armor that actually makes you look like a hiver. So let's see how Ron... Oh, Ron, you look real good. So his armor goes down, obviously, but the coverages are actually pretty good. The coverages for the legs are 100%. What was it for? We could do a little side-by-side. They're standard grade versus heavy grade. So, actually, the hive plates here are better. They have better coverages and better resistances and better cut efficiency and everything. Cool. And this is 8 pounds and this is 10 pounds. Alright. That seems balanced enough. Now this is high grade versus normal grade. The coverages on the chest plates are better for the howler stuff, and the armor's a little bit better. But not so significantly that I'm a fool to wear the hiver stuff. Yeah, I would say it's not equal, but it's not ridiculous either. The weapon he has is ridiculous, but that's a different matter. Alright, I'm just thinking about gearing up everybody. So, if I want to gear up everybody, I think ideally what I would want to do is start with a bunch of mast helmets, because you can always replace limbs. We'll eventually unlock robotics, and we can replace missing limbs, but you can't really replace a missing head. Of course, the issue is soldiers. Oh, hello, recruits delivery. Soldiers can't replace heads. All right, so there's a prince, there's a drone, and there's a soldier. So I'm gonna recruit the soldier and the prince, because I don't have a queue from my patrons for drones. So I guess Queen's home. We might as well have Queen do it. Excuse me, he says. All right, hello, Mr. Seiko. There you are. So Seiko here is going to be our only assassin. Now I know I said I wasn't going to do a whole lot of sneak thiefy stuff, but sometimes you need an assassin. Oh, actually they have 2 soldiers. So let me try to recruit both. This one is going to be Rage. Alright, welcome. And then I need my caravan down here to sell off some stuff real quick. I don't know what I'm going to sell, but obviously I'm just about out of money, so let me see. Let me keep it paused. There's almost no charges left on that splint kit. I don't need all these meds that I had on Frenchie. And let's see here. We'll go with 1 blade, not 2. Again, 1 blade, not 2. I might be selling the better of the blades, but whatever. Meat wraps sell for 287. Fish sells for nothing, so let's sell these meat wraps and rely on the fish. We do have more than 5k now, and that will allow us to recruit the last guy. Alright, the last soldier. Not the last guy entirely. Alright, hello. Who are you now? I'm gonna name you Troller Sauce. There we go. That's a bunch of additional people that are gonna need gear and all that. But definitely expanding our hive. I would say it feels very alive, given the amount of people that we have. So I'm going to want mast helmets, and actually let's do mast helmets and light plate armor and leg plates. And we'll just keep repeat queue of that. And actually I'm going to do heavy or medium plate armor. Is there heavy plate? There might be, and I just might not have it unlocked or something. I don't know. But we'll work on that. So Snowy, where are you, Snowy? Here. Let's make the armor first, and then then do the tanning. These high vests will be nice too. Eventually I'm going to have like blackened hive armor and higher quality stuff, but for now, you know, we'll settle on whatever we can crank out. So taking a look at what I might be able to sell, right? Because I'm broke. We're going to need to sell some stuff in order to keep our economy active. Green fruit, raw green fruit's not going to sell very much. Fuel, again, the more you process something, generally speaking, the more expensive it becomes. I don't think that's true of fabrics. Raw cotton, I was told in comments, is worth more than the fabrics. Bread's pretty good, but I don't want to sell off all my food. I would say maybe these Hiver notebooks, because I have a lot more than I need of them, and it seems to me that I'm sort of out of Hiver research. Now, it's possible that I need to tech up to Tech 4 to unlock any more. So I guess I'll hold on to them for now. Let's take a look over here. The leather's going to be useful for armor. The electrical components we could sell. That we could part with. And then a lot of the fabrics. So once the caravan comes back, we'll have the caravan head on out once again. Yeah, I gotta say, this armor looks pretty good. Is Beep happy with it? I don't know, but I think it looks pretty good. Alright. Queen, jobs are on for you? Yes. Let's check back in with our caravan here. So now there's no point in sitting around. We don't have enough money to warrant hanging out here to recruit any additional dudes. Actually, we'll check. I don't know. It's possible that the drone doesn't really want a lot of money, but my guess is the minimum price for most recruits is, I wouldn't say it's exorbitant, but it's probably more than the 1K I have. He's a farmer. Oh, that actually might be useful information for later, because I want some more farmers. But yeah, I don't have the 4 grand, and I'm not going to be able to scratch it up either. What we can do, however, is head on north with this caravan. Alright, the guards didn't plant any terribleness on me. So yeah, head up north with this caravan. I'm going to put acid temporarily on passive and hold, so that if and when we get in fights, like oh no, you're samurai. I'm not violating the 10-person attack rule. I can pick a fight and just have our new guy sit out because he's got a rusty katana that's not going to be all that useful anyway. Let's ditch his execute button too, which is funny that it has a physical shape. And we're going to head towards the grid. The grid is sort of a pretty easy place to go if you need high-tech research books early in the game. Most of the ancient science books are either purchasable for exorbitant amounts of money, or are really guarded by pretty seriously tough enemies. And there's not a lot in between. Alright, so here's some red sabers that want to pick a fight with us. Frenchie, you can be off of block. I'm happy to pick little fights like this, because we'll win pretty easily, and we'll get their loot. This red saber's getting absolutely outmatched. And actually, I might even chase down the other ones. Alright, so thorns, I'm going to have to remember, is totally full. Yeah, okay, here they come. So acid's going to stand back. And I'm going to... Yeah, I'm just assessing their skills right now. This won't be an easy fight, but I'm so close to a town that if I need to heal up, I can. Look at Ray jump in the middle there. Yeah, you can tell the ones Thorns is attacking because they're bleeding and dead and crippled. Thorns and Red Rain really put a hurt on. Actually, one of the reasons why I have the restriction on 2 at most per animal is because of how powerful bone dogs are. That I wouldn't want my entire squad made up of, like, bulls and bone dogs, because that's not particularly... Okay, I won way easier than I thought. I barely got scratched. And this might allow me to recruit that farmer that I wanted to. So that's good. We'll just run this stuff back. I'm just going to have to grab it with someone that has carry weight. And then we'll go ahead and sell a whole bunch of whatever they had. Most of it's shoddy and terrible and not worth but a penny or two, but if we have enough of it in volume, we can make a buck. I'm not even going to worry because I'm so close to the town. I'm not even going to worry about carry weight. Carry weight be damned at this point. And acid's pretty slow anyway, so... Not picking on him, I'm just saying he's new, so his athletics is pretty low, and I can get fairly encumbered without him being able to outrun me. Alright, Red Sabers, so how did it feel fighting a hiver? I'm guessing you're not going to do that again in the near future, because you all are dead. Alright, who still has gear? Let me move these guys away. Sometimes it's easier to see the who you haven't looted when they're not all standing on top. Alright, caravan done good. And now there's a bunch of naked Red Sabers out here. And their stats weren't terrible, actually. It's just bone dogs, man. Bone dogs are super dangerous. Alright, let's head back to Clownsteady and maybe recruit the farmer, perhaps. We'll take a look. Now over here, Seiko here wants to be a ninja. So I'm going to give Talon's gear up to Seiko, so Seiko actually looks like a ninja, and then let's set him to sneak. Eventually we'll get him to actually sneak somewhere. And then Talon, you're gonna need gear. I think I have gi pants for you. I do. So these pants have a buff to martial arts. And then let's see what else we could do. Now this mercenary gear actually hurts your martial arts a bit. For now, a rag shirt. You'll be a sort of rags to riches story. And, you know, we can just throw the ninja mask back on. There's actually no reason not to wear ninja masks for a home team. I kind of like them more than the Tagelmus, which are honestly pretty hideous. And they have better stats. Oops, that's wrong. I wanted to put this on Oboro. Alright, so all of this stuff can be sold, and should be sold once our caravan gets back home. Oboro might become our second weaponsmith, however, or crossbow crafter. I haven't really exactly decided. Talon, you do look a bit more martial artsy now, I gotta say. A little bit, but a little bit more. Alright, caravan, let's go check in on you, because you should be pretty close to Clownsteady, and you are. Let's bring you all the way back in. And go trade with the bar, or trade with the, this store. Alright, let's trade. Do they, I'm really not after buying anything. I'm, at this point, looking to recruit. So, we're gonna sell really anything that we just looted. Doesn't sell for much, but we have broken the 4K mark already, which is pretty good. Yep, and there's 8K. It doesn't take much to make a buck or two from looting. I'm not even really checking if it's like an upgrade for anyone. I'm just selling all of it. Alright, 11K, that's not bad. That's not a bad haul for so very little work, to be honest. Alright, so I should go into the bar. I don't think there's other bars here. It's just the one. And let's talk to Longstoat, who's going to be a farmer, and maybe even fully relieve Meat Pants, because Meat Pants is a really good farmer, but he is a patron who didn't necessarily sign up to be a farmer. So Longstoat's not as good as Meat Pants, but, you know, is better than 0. Far better than 0. Who else do we have here? Feck. What the feck? He doesn't want to talk to me. We've got this dude, Jafar, doesn't want to talk to me. The prince that does want to talk to me, but he's a prince, so I can't recruit him anyway. And Ark, or whatever his name is. And then you were an Empire Peasant, I think? Yes. You are also recruitable, but you're a prince, so I'm not able to. Alright, I do have some money left. So if we follow Acid, and we could go down to the way station and Drifter's Last and take a peek see around there. Means that my caravan is not going to make it home soon, which I was sort of eager to get home, but you know how it is. We also are going to want weapons for Rage and Troller Sauce. Oh, we have them. Let's get these guys closer so I can equip them. So you got 2 good Naginatas. Yeah, I'll just leave the their little clubs in there. And once I unlock some additional recipes, I will widen the amount of different weapons I have. And then Seiko needs a weapon as well. What I was hoping to do is pick off a sidearm. Here we go. Perfect. Meat Pants. Just drop that. I'll find it. A katana. That will do. And he is laughably just practicing his stealth around the base. Why not? Gotta get it. It doesn't build up unless you're around non-allianced people. So, you know, I'm not building stealth unless I'm around enemies, essentially. Or neutrals. Whatever. How is my armor coming? Oh, first vest is coming out soon. Resnick is still grinding out the plates. Ferris is fishing. I don't know, we're looking pretty good. We definitely need armor for the new guys. Let's check back on our caravan. They seem stopped. Oh, right, we're at the way station. Alright, let's send Frenchie in. I'm going to have to wait for the zone to load because the buildings aren't loading. And we know that's, that got Frenchie beat up real good last time that happened. Well, there's not a single hive to be seen. There's a recruitable skeleton. Oh, World State Checker. He's not recruitable. I can just talk to him. I don't know what mod introduces the World State Checker, but my world state seems to be fine, so I don't want it checked. In fear that it does something I don't want. And then the top floor does not have any hivers either. I wasn't holding my breath about this. Let's check next door, though. Nope. What about for blueprints? Random furniture and concrete walls. I know it already. Alright. No point in staying. Let's get moving to Drifter's Last. Oh, they're beating up a bone dog. Do you feel... Oh, wow. Camera just... You're only allowed to peek so far. So as soon as these guys left the immediate area, I was going to zoom in on that dog and ask them if they felt good about what they did. But, yep. Alright, so as you can see, the speed increase difference between a drone and a soldier, they both started at 16. Longstoat is already at 20, and Acid's at 17. That's a significant difference. Alright, who do we have at this island? Oh, I can talk to them, so they must be friendly-ish? Come on. Stop snapping my camera away. They're, oh, mercenaries looking to be hired up. Alright, how do we want to get to Drifter's Last? Swim? Go for a dip? Sure, why not? I would say if you're especially going through the swamp areas, it's very important to level up your swimming. It might not seem all that useful because most of the time you're trying to avoid long bouts of being in the water. But if you are ever caught in the water surrounded by dangerous things and you can't swim very quickly, you are so dead. Like, you might as well just seppuku harikari, because yeah, it's really not easy to come back from being eaten alive underwater. Now, some things like skeletons don't exactly swim. They're all metal, so this game, in its infinite wisdom, and I don't mean that sarcastically, actually has skeletons just walk through water exactly how they probably should. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so, another bar, another recruit run. Haven't loaded... Oh, there it goes. Load it up, and... Oh, we got... One's a guard, one's potentially recruitable. Let me just check. Wow, that's not even all that expensive. That prince sells himself short. I've, of course, had to decline because I'm not a queen. Dem's the rules. Upstairs, we've got probably Empire Peasant. Pretty much, if they're wearing rag pants, they're Empire Peasants. And all four of those are Empire Peasants. Another one, 5. Yeah, so there's just one prince down here. So if I do want some princes, I know where the queen has to go to get them. The southern UC cities have a pretty good amount of them. Well, they're not selling any books here. I'm going to check the other buildings, making sure that there's just the one and only bar. I might stick around down here until the general shop opens up. There's some general shops that I might want to poke my head into. So yeah, I will leave this group down here till daybreak. At this point, Crab, you got a big old backpack, right? Yeah. Let's go loot some of the weapons while I have nothing else to do off of the victims of the last raid. Oh, got caught stealing, did I? I'll just pick you up and suplex you into the ground again and take your weapon. Guess he was playing dead. I do like how they, instead of getting up to fight me, they just lay there. Like, I guess I always picture the people that lay there and play dead, and then when you try to steal and it says you got caught stealing, like, I don't know, pretty much exactly how you would think. They're literally just laying there, and then they're like, hey you, I saw you try to take my blade or whatever, and like, they get angry, and it's like, are you gonna fight me, or are you just gonna continue laying there? And they're like, laying there. It seems safer. Maybe that's just my imagination, but I always find it funny when they're playing dead and they prevent you from taking their gear. It's like, I don't think you know what playing dead is. Playing dead means you should just let me take it. I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. Alright, so those are the cannibals that I know that are immediately close. I really wish that the left alt would highlight them, though. I'm gonna go look around for... Okay, so here's an old machine that's rebooting. So let's take his stuff. Lost Howler probably broke that. Here's another one. Man, these Lost Howlers are prolific. Which actually brings me to another point on the feedback poll. So for the longest time, I've had, of course, the 10-person combat squad. And I made that rule with the sort of vanilla Kenshi in mind. Because in vanilla Kenshi, there is not a whole lot of threat that can kill you when you are... Oh man, why are you... Ambient noise, pipe down. There's not a lot of threat that can kill you when you've got like 20 or so people. But all the mods I've introduced to this series... Crap, what? Oh, you're trying to weaponsmith. That's why you keep grabbing the plates. All the mods that I introduced into the series might want to lift the restriction on the 10-person combat squad, only because it seems to me, in my brief but fair assessment of the Shrieker mods and all these other mods that got added in, they're not really balanced. I took a look at that foot soldier Shrieker that I ran past. She has stats that rivals some of the strongest vanilla bosses of Kenshi. And that's pretty much true across the board. We've got a lot of, honestly, a pretty ridiculous amount of cannibals and shriekers and hivers, too. I haven't actually gotten combat with them, but I have heard horror stories of some of these southern hive and how strong they are. Horror stories, honestly, horror stories about how tough they are. And that, I mention that because we might want to lift the 10-person restriction, given that it's, at this point, maybe not all that reasonable. Because of how sort of imbalanced and strong that the game has become due to all the mods. So, if you have strong feelings about that, that is, of course, on the form, on the poll for this week. Alright, so we were standing around not getting really much done, and I decided to go hunt some spiders. My crossbow people can always level up more on crossbows, and then I probably use more iron plates in bolts killing these things than I do make from them, but it keeps me busy while my caravans here move around. Sangheili, let's take a look where you are now. You should be... You're in Drifters last. Let's start running north. This is good accuracy, precision, it's good training. And you can tell when the rangers hit, because the rangers hit for so much more. So what I should do is figure out exactly who this spider is following. Okay, it's following Silvershade. And have Silvershade be the only one kiting. Making sure that these are also deactive. Oh, you're leaking oil. I'm gonna call this spider Valdez. Or Deep Horizon or something. So close, but yet so far. And now you're out. Yes, it is a little cheesy, but because I'm doing this mostly defensively, I don't feel that bad about it. And what I mean by that is, it's not like I'm exploiting... I mean, it's not even all that exploitative. But it's not like I'm cracking into some sort of magic vault or whatever because I've been kiting these iron spiders. I'm just killing iron spiders that are in the neighborhood because I'm bored. Like a kid who sets ants on fire. Not saying I'm that kid, but like it. Alright, so Silvershade is bringing the plates back home to keep our weapon factory cranking. That's really going to be a big bottleneck until I clear out the main island, is iron and iron plate scarcity. I have a lot of iron and iron plate scarcity, and it's going to slow me down economically, but that's fine. You all voted for me to be on this island. Hell or high water, and here I am. Alright, Hello, why are you choking up so much? You are a ranger just like the rest of them. You're set to ranged, you have bolts, and yet you keep closing a melee like you got a death wish. And it could be a death wish. It is entirely possible, especially given that pretty much none of these guys have actual helmets. These, like, little ninja masks have, what, 5% coverage? If I get scythed in the head by one of these spiders, it's nighty-night, the long sleep, if it's a bad hit. Which is another good reason to get those masked visor helmets that Beep is sporting on everyone. Ow! Guys, watch it. Hella just took a hit. Again, I should figure out... Alright, it's chasing green. This is way easier just to kite with one than kite with all. And guess what? Queen is strong enough to hold all the plates and keep fighting. She's a beast. Alright, let's keep going. There's another one over here. Or actually, let's check in on our caravan. Nope, they are frozen. All of you follow acid. Acid. Run here. Oh, I think they had them following the wrong dude. Whoops. That is entirely my bad. Oh, that was a bad hit. Silvershade's arm just got demolished. And this is exactly why I'm not using, like, high-tier Eagle Crosses. Because it would be potentially even fatal, worst-case scenario, if we had a friendly fire incident and we didn't have good armor. And I don't want to fatally friendly fire anyone. That sounds horrifying. And, yeah, as you can imagine, that's actually one of the real dangers of harpoons, is if you're attacking an enemy base, harpoons can really put some crazy damage out. Fatal one-shot damage. Alright. Patch yourself up, Hella. Or someone else will do it. Who picked up the last set of plates? Ah, Green did. Alright. I thought it was Queen, but it was Green. Yeah, maybe this is iron efficient. I'm not even sure. Hella's going in for the suicide hug. She just wants to befriend these spiders, doesn't she? No, no suicide hugs. That's a bad Hella. Alright, I got the other spider active too, but I think this one's... no, it's only half dead. Man, this brings back, ouch, friendly fire again. Memories of, like, StarCraft kiting. And, stutter clicking and stuff like that. Man, I was really hoping that volley would do that one in. There we go. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. All split up. I can start using hotkeys and look like I know what I'm doing, right? Now, if these things infinitely respawn, I don't feel so bad about cleaning them out like this. Eventually, what I need to do is get a home team, some home guards, cycle them in and out, but basically the home guards would have hackers, which are particularly good at destroying robots. They tend to be paladin weapons. The paladins absolutely loathe the robots, so paladins have weapons that are really efficient at killing robots. But I'll get my hands on, and I can buy some of them. And once I buy some of them, you know, that will be useful to deactivating these robots more efficiently from the bonus damage. Alright, so all 4 of these guys have a broken down spider in them. So let's head over to the... Oh, is that a babbler? No, that's a full-blown scrawny cannibal. Unusual to see them alone. They usually travel in packs. Seiko here is probably not really leveling up his stealth. Oh, it says 4. There must be some unconscious dudes around or something like that, which is allowing me to level up my my stealth, even though I'm not around enemies. It's fine by me. Free leveling works for me. So I'm going to have all these crossbow hivers put their loot away. Yeah, that will keep the weapon foundry active for a bit. Silvershade, Hella, both need to heal. They took some friendly fire or something. Friendly fire is a terrible name for it, man. There's nothing friendly about shooting an ally. Hostile fire. more like. So, Snowy. Here is my first hiver leather vest. Let's give it to Ron. Ron, why are you in Hands of the Queen? I don't even know why I did that. Let's give that to Ron. And this fills the shirt slot. And basically, the way it works is, let's say you get hit by a cut weapon. And it does 100 damage. The cut resistance here mitigates 37% of that. And then the cut resistance efficiency. So I might be getting it sort of wrong, but the way the cut efficiency is, what percentage of those cut damage then gets converted to blunt, which deals damage, and then what percentage of it continues to the layer of armor underneath. So basically, I can't give you the hard numbers because this is off the top of my head, but the way this works is the higher the cut resistance, the more the damage is mitigated on the hit. And then the higher the cut resistance efficiency is, the more of that damage doesn't instantly become blunt damage. So let's say you have your cut resistance efficiency of 0%. Not that I think armor like that exists. That means that anything that your initial armor didn't block instantly becomes blunt damage and then does trauma to that body, that part that got hit. And then what ends up happening is what isn't resisted and turned into blunt from the armor slot then goes to the shirt slot. So this shirt covers stomach and chest. So if, let's say, the stomach or chest gets hit, the Hiver medium plate armor has 100% coverage for stomach and chest. So every single hit will be mitigated. Some armor doesn't. So for instance, this... Let's find one that doesn't. This mercenary leather armor has a stomach of 70%. So 7 out of 10 hits to the mercenary leather armor will, on average, be... will be to a part of the armor that actually provides some sort of cover. And then 3 out of 10 don't get mitigated at all, meaning the full hit gets calculated into your stomach, which could be very, very fatal. It could be a very deep fatal wound. So the problem is, if it doesn't have 100% coverage, it's a little risky. So this Hive helmet, for instance, has a coverage of 70%. So 70% of the time, it will deflect. 10% or 30% of the time it won't, and that could actually get you killed. That could get you super killed. So 100% coverage is probably the most important part of armor, factoring in, of course, resistances. Acid and Red Rain are getting attacked. It's probably ninjas. Yes, it seems to be a bunch of... No, these are outlaw farmers. They run at 16. So we can outrun these guys, because outlaw farmers don't have a lot of gear, so they're not worth the time it takes to kill them. Man, that is some awesome pathing there. And you can very easily see who's slow in this lineup. As we're running away, Acid is dreadfully lagging behind. That's okay. I mean, he's new, and we're training him. So we're going to run into the complex here, the workshop complex, with the interest of raising our tech level. Ooh, and there looks to be a really good source of meat available if these outlaw farmers would leave my butt alone. But they are hot on my heels here. I'm able to outrun most of them, but not all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Acid run by these outlaw farmers and then have everyone else attack. Because I'm only supposed to have 10 in an attack squad, so I'm going to adhere to that. Alright, well, was a lesson learned? Hope so. And again, I'll probably do that with the swamp turtles. This is an incredible amount of food here. I kind of feel bad, because they're so passive. You know, they never initiate fights. But they're really good for training and for meat. And actually, no, they're really not hurting us much. I just feel bad. It's like a total utter massacre. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm not going to cook any of the food because we can turn it into meat wraps. So I got to find someone that has some decent amount of carry weight. Alright, there we go. Honey, Cookie, you do too? Yeah, you have a lot of carry weight. And we're just gonna carry around raw meat with us. Raw meat won't feed, I don't think it will feed the prince, but it will feed everyone else. Everyone else is totally fine raw meat diet, except for the princes, queens, and princesses. By design. They I wouldn't use the word demand, but they get a higher quality food. But these guys don't mind the raw meat. Insect stomachs must be cast iron or something. And yes, this if you create a base and you have a giant population and you're having some hunger issues, just find some swamp turtles. You can easily beat them, no problem. Oh, look, a red saber. Are you alone? Looks as if you're alone. How dumb do you have to be to take this fight? Will he even get a hit in? Nope. Minus. Let's loot him. Let's put the loot on Red Rain. He is so massively unconscious. Usually they travel in groups, so it's very possible that there's the rest of the squad somewhere nearby. But I'm headed home the way of the workshop complex. So the workshop complex is a really good spot to get some initial high-tech stuff. Alright, so here are the red saber. Yeah, there they are. I don't really want to take this fight, though. Not that I can't win it. I would win it soundly, just like I won last time. But I don't really have the inventory space for their gear. So I'm just going to aim to avoid them if I can. Where'd they go? Okay, well, whatever. So yeah, if you're all of a sudden stopped by the ancient science books and you can't proceed any further with technology, here's a relatively safe place to explore. Most of the ancient science books require a lot of combat to acquire, require and acquire, but not here. Here it's pretty tame. Oh, except for when you run into big things. But I think I can take these big things, so I'm going to do that. Ouch. St. Healy got mauled to the chest real bad. But between Thorns and Red Rain, yeah, we have the big things down. I'm just going to loot a token piece of meat off of this one. And this is the of course, the only danger here is you might run into a big thing. So it's not free. You can't come down here and expect a no resistance, high-tech books. But there's also a finite amount of them, so keep that in mind as well. Alright, so fortunately, I do believe we have 2 camp beds, and we have 2 unconscious beak thing victims. So let's use these beds. Red Rain has them. Red Rain, give them to Frenchie. Frenchie, build them. And let's do rescue as a permanent task. Are you going to rescue? Oh, these guys are already on their feet. That was fast. Minus is almost already conscious, too. So we're pretty hurt. But we're not hurt enough that it's going to be a problem. Slowing us down. So these bee things are dead, but I should loot the rest of their goodies, given carry weight. So honey. I just need to be faster than acid, so that is the marker. Acid's 18, so honey and cookie are faster. Okay, cool. And these swamp raptors are just eating the corpses of the big things. Actually, it looks like Thorns is too. No, that's kind of just an idle animation. Kind of looks. So we're coming home with a whole lot of food. I don't see any more beakers up ahead, fortunately. But I think what I'm going to do is not rest up here. I'm sort of eager for these guys to get home with science books. Very, very eager, in fact. So, Stoat. Let's get rid of your execute button. And trade these back to Red Rain. I guess it doesn't really matter if I give them a weapon because they're not supposed to fight anyway. Okay, time to follow acid. All the hits that I took were like chest hits. So I think we're still full speed against, you know, full speed ahead. And then we're looking for workshop complexes. I believe they're in static. Here's one. They're in static locations, but they're sometimes hard to find given that this place is laid out a little bit like a labyrinth. The next thing I need to do is figure out who can pick locks. Who's my best lock pick in this group? So, lock picking 2? No. Well, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. Oh boy, we don't have any lock picks. In fact, I don't even think my home team... Silvershade is our best lock pick, but not a phenomenal one, but he's certainly better than all these guys. So, Frenchie, you are a... He is a prince, so I'm going to have him train up lockpicking at this point. So some of these chests are just locked with way too strong of a lock to be able to pick. I do have one set of tools which will be able to over time crack one of these chests. But I'm hoping that instead what will end up happening is we'll be able to level up. Oh, so here's some ancient science books. Phenomenal. 2 of them too. But I'm hoping in picking the locks that are here, I'll be able to level up a little bit. So I'm going to start with, let's start with this 6% chance lock. Now, for you to be able to pick anything, it has to be 5% or higher. Anything with a less than 5% chance, you just can't even pick. You have no concept of where to start. But looking at the clock here, I'm just about out of time. So I wanted to thank all the people that have been contributing to this series, either monetarily as a patron, or through viewer, or polls, or ideas, feedback, likes, subscriptions. All of you guys, absolutely amazing. I also wanted to thank Vomorix and Campbell Spider for directly helping with some mod testing and modding and bug fixing and stuff like that. That's absolutely awesome. You guys are amazing. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, drop me a line, and I do hope that you tune in next time. Thank you all so very much for watching. I'll catch you all later. Adios.